let's talk about what Tudor could do if they want to absolutely break the watch scene, specifically the entry-level luxury dive watch segment. Right now, it's a pretty stiff segment, and Tudor already occupies a space in it with the Black Bay and with the Pelagos, and I'm a fan of both models. In fact, I'm wearing a Black Bay today, but the chronograph variation, the Panda version on the bracelet, they're doing well, but they have the capacity or the potential to do surprisingly well, like shockingly good. I think they could eat up market share and take away consumers that are, shopping the competition. They're shopping the Seamaster Professional and the Seamaster 300 and the Super Ocean and the Super Ocean Heritage and the host of other great models, great divers at that, $3,500 to $5,500 price segment. In fact, I don't think it ends there. I think they could take a ton of sales in that segment. And then also the people that are shopping for a Rolex Submariner or a dive watch that's between $9 and, I guess it's like $7,500 and $9,500, right around there. I think, okay, I'm going to stop just saying how much I think they could sell. Let me show you the watch. This is a quick Photoshop mock-up that I did of screen grabs of current products from both Rolex and Tudor, so you guys could see what a Tudor Submariner reissue could potentially look like. And you look at Tudor's history, and essentially it was a brand that was founded by the same individual that founded Rolex shortly after founding Rolex. And the idea behind the brand was to create a product that was almost identical to a Rolex product, but just, a couple different changes and a lower price to make it more available to a wider range of consumers. And that idea of itself is nothing groundbreaking. It's been utilized by multiple companies over multiple industries. And if you think about it, if you can expand your consumer base and sell more product and get a wider range of the spectrum of people that are shopping for a specific product, it's going to do good for you as a business. It's a wise thing to do if you can pull it off correctly. And we've seen Rolex and Tudor do that successfully. But in recent years, Tudor has really tried to, I guess you could say, be their own brand and do different things, more avant-garde things that Rolex might not necessarily be interested in doing. And they've been met with some success, especially since they came back to the United States market after a hiatus. I think they've really become their own brand. They're still tied at the hip with Rolex, and I don't think that will ever really change. But, they're looking more at the differences than they are the similarities with specific models. And is that a good idea? I think on the whole, yeah, it is a good idea. But what if, instead of beating the Black Bay horse, which again, I like the Black Bay, what if they also offered a similar product to what Rolex is offering? More similar than just almost the same size, more retro in the design language, couple little differences. What if they went very similar? And again, take a look at these Photoshop mock-ups that I threw together. I think this could be immensely popular, shockingly popular. And no, I don't think it would devalue a Rolex. There might be a few people that would go, well, it's too close. I don't want to wear my sub because now there's a cheaper version on the market. There might be a few people that have that line of thinking, but I think it would be a pretty big minority. The key is to do it right, to offer the right blend of colors and features, make it similar enough, but still have, your own identity, make it a little bit different so it has its own desirability in addition to, the big appeal of being very similar to a Submariner. I think you'll find that Submariner owners would gravitate toward also buying a Tudor Submariner. Let me get a Tudor sub for the times that I'm not comfortable wearing my Rolex sub. Maybe I want a beater watch. Maybe I want something in a color like the blue that I can only get from Rolex in precious metal, but I'm not a realistic, consumer for a precious metal watch at the moment. If you did it the right way, I think you would really appeal to current Rolex customers that have, Submariners and other models. I have a Submariner. I wear a Submariner regularly. I also, again, wear the Black Bay regularly. Love both. But I would be massively interested in a Tudor Submariner version, again, if it's done right. And take a look at my Photoshop mock-up here. So essentially, you're going to celebrate what is great about the Submariner. And what is great about the Submariner? It's a very easy watch to wear. It comes in thin and trim. The finishing is sharp. You kind of forget that you're wearing it at times because it does disappear. It fits under a cuff, and it's very adjustable when it comes to the glide lock, the ceramic bezel. The action is so good. And then you have, the increased scratch resistance on the, on the bezel insert with it being done out of ceramic. You look at the flat crystal, this flat sapphire crystal, and then you look at the dial, which is a lacquered dial if you're not going with a Sunray version, say a Hulk or a Bluesy or something like that. And it really has this timeless, elegant feel that's more contemporary, a little bit more dressy, and you don't see gilt. You don't see gilt text. That was the last generation sub in two-tone or in precious metal. No, you see a lot of high contrast. It's about legibility. It's about functionality. It's about having this very easy to wear and enjoyable to wear product that's bulletproof and accurate and adjustable and versatile. So let's take a look at the Black Bay real quick. And I think it has some of those elements. It is a fun watch to wear, but it's a tall watch. It's a hefty watch, and it's a retro-inspired watch when it comes to the design language. You don't get a lacquered dial or a Sunray dial. In most instances, you get a domed, kind of textured, gritty dial. And then you get a lot of gilt printing when it comes to some of the options, or, actually a good amount of the options are done in that warm tone. And then you get an aluminum bezel insert, and you get the ridiculous faux rivet style links on the bracelet. And it's almost too retro feeling. I know they're going for a contrasting watch than what Rolex is currently doing with the Submariner. But again, if you celebrated the similarities and you tried to emulate the thinness, the adjustability, the look of the dial, the contrasting elements of the applied markers, keep those lovely snowflake hands. I prefer the snowflake hands over the Mercedes hands every day of the week. I know that might not be the most popular opinion, but, celebrate the similarities. Put your own spin on a couple little things. Keep the smiley, curvy text. Keep the snowflake hands. Do colors that are only available in precious metal from Rolex. Make a little bit of a difference in the, celebrating the similarities. And I think you have a massive hit on your hands. Absolutely massive. Let's mention the watch market at the moment. There are so many people, so many individuals that want a Submariner that either aren't a preferred client or they've been waiting for over a year and they have money to burn. They have discretionary income that they want to spend on a luxury diver. Well, you could get those people that are waiting for a sub by offering them a very similar but attainable, more affordable product. So they buy the sub while they're waiting for, they buy the Tudor sub while they're waiting for the Rolex sub. And then once the Rolex sub is available, I believe they buy the Rolex one as well. I think this has massive appeal to current Rolex owners, people that are wanting to buy a Rolex, current Tudor buyers, and then those people that would choose Tudor now over Omega or Breitling or another brand because the idea is so appealing. And as such, so many features. The Submariner is arguably the greatest dive watch, at least the most successful dive watch. So why not celebrate that? That's the idea. That's the concept. Go back to your roots, Tudor, and offer this product. And you don't have to drop the Black Bay. You don't have to drop the Pelagos. You might see a drop in sales of those models because so many people would be more interested in the Submariner, in my opinion, but it's something to consider. I'm sure Tudor has considered this multiple times. Maybe they're waiting for an anniversary. Maybe they're waiting for some reason. Maybe they don't find merit in the idea. Maybe they want to celebrate the differences more than the similarities. They want to be more their own brand, develop their own movement house, all of this different stuff. But I don't know. Keep an eye on the history and what you could potentially do. Tudor could break the watch scene, the watch market, if they looked into this idea and did it right. So I want to ask you guys, would this be a good idea? Would you genuinely be interested in this type of product? And would you choose this over a Seamaster Professional or a Super Ocean from Breitling? If you're waiting for a sub, would you buy this while you're waiting for the sub? And then would you buy the sub as well and maybe get a blue and a black or something like that? Do you think this is a good idea? I really want to see your honest feedback, and I'm sure that someone at Rolex or at Tudor will come across this video at some point. They've watched my content previously. I'm sure they'll read the comments and they'll say, okay, here's some honest feedback from the watch enthusiast community on this specific topic that we've probably toyed about with many, many times previously. Tell them what you think. Don't hold back and be honest with your feedback. Would you be interested in this? And I would appreciate that. So guys, thanks for watching today. I really hope you have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.